Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel. This is week 5 in the What's in My Bookcase series. I thought this was going to be a shorter video, but I visited another bookcase in the house and found several more titles. So this week will be different in that they're basically, I guess we could say almost how-to books or reference books or inspirational books for creating journals, doing collage, doing various other paper crafts. So let's begin. I would say, okay, this is the Marie Browning title, Handcrafted Journals, Albums, Scrapbooks, and More. I would say that this is probably the very first book like this that I bought. I must have liked it because I also have it in hardcover. This obviously was bought secondhand. And certainly long before I ever knew what junk journals or anything like that was, probably before the genre had even been, had broken off and become a thing or been named or whatever. I don't know the actual, first person who said the word junk journal or even when that happened, but this book is dated it was copyrighted 1999. And I love this book because as a book lover, I'm thinking back to, to the time of my purchase. As a book lover, I was interested in anything that involved books. So here we've got something called miniature books. What does she define that as? 1.5 by 1 3/8 for the finished size. Novelty books, a message pad, corrugated spine books, sticky pad notebooks. I'm not going to obviously flip through every one or pause at every one because, we'd never get through more than this one book. Open spine books. So, of course, there we're talking about a different sort of binding technique. Incorporating a twig. Well, certainly it's not a new idea. It's been done before, back in 2000. Metallic book. And of course, things, I'm sure, well, we know that things have changed since then because of a change in products and techniques and all of that. You can see there are how-to pictures showing how to, okay, in this case, make the cover, some tools that a person might need, bookbinding terms and techniques, talking about paper, using flowers. Oh, if you hear that racket in the background, we are dog sitting Gertie, my daughter's French bulldog, and of course she now picked the noisiest. Well, I guess she could have brought her squeaky pig, but she's now gnawing on one of those. I don't know. It looks like a slingshot. It's sort of a fake bone thing. I should have locked her out of the room. Yeah, so this is really a, start right at the beginning kind of book. And obviously now that I've pulled these things out to show you, I do need to re-examine them. Oh, here's another Marie Browning title. I thought I had more than one. Hand decorating paper. So, let's see. 2000, well, copyright 2000. Let's see, what do we have here? So, antique paper, batik paper, bubble paper, faux leather, laminated, marbleized, nature prints, paste paper, splattered, sponged, stencil, tie-dye, watercolor. So creating different effects. And again, think about how much easier some of this might be with some of the new tools and products that we have. See, I just love this, and in fact have done this sort of thing way back when. This is using tissue paper. Oh, and either white or brown freezer paper. Anyway, another cool one. This one is Andrea Mafflin, and it's decorative paper, projects, techniques, and pull-out designs. Oh, see? I haven't looked at some of these in years, so those must be the designs that we're talking about. Yeah, that's perforated. Let's see what the gist of this one is. Oh, more crafty type. So there's a picture of a lampshade there. Okay, techniques, stationary containers, clocks, lampshades, and frames. So here there's just some, you know, a little bit of a cross-section of papers, and doesn't that just make you drool when you see those options? Cutting, tearing, double-sided tape, making your own wrapping paper, covering containers, collaged like serving tray, clock faces, and you know, some of these things I would never take the time to do. Frames. Oh, look at that one, covered in book page. I would never take the time to do some of these things because that doesn't kind of fit in with my decor. But the basic techniques and the ideas are certainly transferable to whatever a person might be working on. Lynn Robinson and Richard Lowther, stenciling. Oh, see? Honestly, shop your own library, woman. So these are vellum pages. Leaf shapes. Now, what good is this? I guess the person has to cut these out. Anyway, let's see what we have here. Start at the beginning and check out the year. $1995. Okay, so it covers tools, techniques, paper prints, furniture finishes, cloth works, interior touches, and garden colors. Okay, so we can see. Remember when these folding screens were the rage? Putting designs on clay pots. I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with me, but I even like the look of something like this because I'm thinking, okay, I've got that and that and that and that. Weirdo. Or a page like this. Making and using stencils. Sectional wall hanging. Furniture finishes. Fishy kitchen cupboard. Well, I'm telling you, that's never going to happen. Never. A roller blind. I remember I used to think, oh, that would be so cool. When there was that craze or that crazy phase of having your roller blinds match your, you know, your decor. Never did find the kit to do that. You needed a certain type of blind in order to be able to do that. Okay, another one. Jillian Souter, I guess. 50 Extraordinary Gifts and Projects, Step by Step. Oh, a secret. Okay. Again, this is probably going 94. This is probably going to veer more towards the craft end of things. So, paper making, paper mache, weaving, decoupage, paper cuts, dimensionals, paper mechanics, textures, printing, stenciling, marbling, paper applique, quilling, paper sculpture, covering, folding, embossing. I mean, and a partridge in a pear tree. Okay, so again, paper, equipment, how to transfer, finding the grain in paper. Nick the Booksmith is famous for talking about that. Transferring patterns, folding and scoring, metric and imperial conversion chart, making paper. 100 years ago, I took a paper making course at a community college in southern Alberta, and it was wonderful. And because hoarding is, you know, sort of a byproduct of the artistic venture sometimes, I still have the paper that I made. I also have a bunch of, what was that stuff called? The woman that taught the course was really quite a master. Now, she was old, so I'm sure she's no longer with us, but she had been kind of an award-winning paper maker. It seems to me she also made a paper kimono, like wall piece. Anyway, I can't remember what the word is for those chunks of, I mean, it's obviously the paper has already been made, so there was that slurry, and then you dry it out, and I have bags of sort of this dried up pulpy material. So anyway, I might need to find that. Okay. Making a portfolio. Paper cutting. Paper cutting is one of those things that I think a lot of different cultures do. I remember that I did sat in on a make it and take it type workshop that was being, not workshop, but a make it and take it, where you're in a setting where you just go from station to station and do simple things. I attempted paper cutting from this Ukrainian instructor, and she was sort of course, the work she did was beautiful. The work that I did was less so. Anyway, so, textures. Honestly, I have to, this, I don't know about you, but I'm getting a lot out of this. I need to revisit some of these ideas. Okay, I kind of just skimmed over that. The paper decorator, original paperwork for stylish interiors. Okay, so we know that this is going to be more probably avant-garde. And who knows, 2000, probably something that we don't want in our houses, 20 some years later. Paper making. There's that slurry thing again. You know what? I suspect that paper making is going to be the thing, because when I was in Michael's maybe a week or so ago, I saw that they have paper making kits, with the screens and everything. So I bet you that's going to be a new thing. Just on a side note, I don't know about where you live, but certainly all the Walmarts that I have encountered in Edmonton, the craft section keeps shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and everybody and his brother, including Walmart, seems to be getting in on the Cricut thing. So, you know, they dedicate these lineal feet for Cricut machines and accessories and tools and all of that, and have basically eliminated much of anything else. So maybe they're getting squeezed by specialty stores like Michael's and art stores, and then at the other end of the spectrum, by dollar stores that are bringing in, you know, they're selling all the basics at a more affordable price. So it can't be easy. It's not easy for the retailer, and it's certainly not easy for the customer either. Okay, so decoupage and collage, stencils. Okay, so basically the rest of the book seems to be project ideas. So you want a paper-covered coffee table? You know, sometimes I look, this is crazy, but when I look at recipes, if they have too many, if the list of ingredients is too long and the number of steps in the method are too long, I think, next. And kind of likewise with something, you know, if it has multiple pages of instructions, I think, no, I don't think I want to do that. Music floor cloth. Huh. Oh yeah, this must have been when floor cloths were the rage. So basically it's a piece of canvas that somebody's decoupaged, tattered up old music page on. Anyway, we don't want to linger too much here because that's decor and it's probably dated. Okay. Thank you notes. 40 handmade ways to show you're grateful. And again, not because this is like I never really did become a card maker. Oh, Gertie thought it wasn't noisy enough, so she moved closer. So again, I'm not about to start making cards. However, I'm sure that there are ideas in here that can be transferred seamlessly to the things that I do want to do. So I guess the moral of, and certainly you probably don't want to rush out and buy all these books, but you know, a library is also a good source. And there was a phase there where I was borrowing books all the time and, you know, making note of ideas that appeal to me, because we can't own, despite how it might seem, we can't own every book out there. And some of the stuff is almost dated by the time it's printed. And yeah. Anyway, this one is called Paper Made, 101 Exceptional Projects to Make Out of Everyday Paper. Turn candy wrappers, junk mail, and paper bags into beautiful and lasting jewelry, gifts, home decor, party favors, and more. Was not a mouthful. So, 2012. So this is, well, it's still 10, 11 years old. Paper for, well, let's just kind of hit some title headings. Basics, materials, paper home. Again, more project-based than make a purse out of a book. Make your own pencil caddy covered in paper. How about a lantern? Matchboxes. Now, it doesn't say how big this one is. You may have seen my scraps of paper at least 2 inches by 8 inches. I did a video on some of the micro mini books that I've made. Oh, look at that. One-way ticket placemat. And basically I decorated the tiny little match box. Oh, in fact, when I was looking through my stuff, because I'm doing this little studio switcheroo thing, I found like probably a 12-pack of matchboxes that I must have bought at some point. So I've got many more. Oh, that's cute. Give me a letter. Remember when all these sorts of letters were the rage for decor items too? Oh, she makes it herself out of a cardboard box. Anyway, I have a number of H's around. Got one of those names that you never find on keychains or bookmarks or mugs or anything like that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hollow out a book to hide your valuables in. Candy bracelet. I bought a purse with this sort of a technique made out of wrappers. Bought that at a thrift store. Paper chip bracelet. Anyway, another one to check out. John Plowman, paper making technique books. Over 50 techniques for making and embellishing handmade paper. (2001). So this almost is turning paper into an art form, you know, where it becomes sculptural for hanging on a wall, or, okay, this vessel. Okay, this vessel has been created by wrapping black mulberry paper around a tube before coloring it. Making pulp from part processed fibers. And, you know, if a person did get back into the paper making, it's a messy process and probably best left for, you know, when you can do part of it outside. If a person got back into that, that's another way of really using up a lot of paper of all varieties. Oh my God, now this dog is underfoot. Sorry about the chewing and the snorting and the slobbering. Embedded papers. Another little note or mark of some sort. Okay, this one's really all about making paper. Okay, creative paper art, Nancy Welsh. Techniques for transforming the surface. Oh, I must have liked this one. Look at all those flags. This is $19.99. Oh, this is cool. This book is dedicated to all those who would rather play than cook and clean. Well, count me among you. Okay, so creative surface designs, mildly messy techniques, glitter, glitz, and dimension, getting it together. Sponging. Spattering. Brayer inking. Bubbling. Rubbing. Tempera. Washout. Smoke smudging. Paste paper. Monoprint. Rorschach monoprint. Powdered paper. Blueprinting. Brown paper. No, I can't say it. Gilding. Metallic pens. Fabric and craft paint, groovy paper, screensaver, wet embossing, stitched and sewn. Yeah, cool. cool. This looks like an old one. Paper Crafts, Better Homes and Gardens, 1989. Oh, this is going to be probably the least useful to us. Well, I guess it's showing different ideas. Oh, more paper cutting. Wow. Birthday party. Yeah, this one is probably the least useful to me. Okay, I better speed it up here. I've got another pile to get through. Oh. Oh, goodness. Okie dokie. Okay. One day, when we were in the States, this is a few years ago, I went to an artist's reuse sort of place, you know, where people donate supplies and so on, and scored, probably 20 books or more. And of course, because we always travel by car when we go to visit my son, it made for a very interesting road trip back, because of course I wasn't the driver, so I was able to read. But books are heavy, books are bulky, so yeah. Anyway, got an understanding family. Okay, so this one is Experiments, Investigations, and Exploratory Projects, collage, B. Shea. Now, when you see a table of contents like this, do you not automatically think, oh, this is going to be fun? So basically, there are, well, they're calling them labs. Gesso, paper surface, imagery, washes. Okay, unit 2 is texture, organics, fabrics. Again, gesso, tints and colors, overprinting, emotional impact, surface design, masks and stencils, stamping, glazing, line work, connecting. So you can see that in each case, there's some materials, there's a learning objective, there are a couple of samples, there's some instructions, and something to think about. Cutting, tearing, we know how to tear, punching, you can see why this book is on my A list. Okay. Artist's Journal and Sketchbook, Exploring and Creating Personal Pages by Lynn Perella. Oh, is that the name that keeps recurring in the Somerset books? Probably. This is dated, 2004. So you can see that, oh, I see, there are other contributing artists. Working with photocopies, adding color to pages, transformation of collaged clown, the book itself, examining covers and types of journal, That's a good quote. My home is where my books are. Handmade journals with wood covers. Slide mount journal cover. Attachment techniques. 12 ideas for adding text to pages. Letter to a stranger. Prayer. Decorator's file. Okay. Collage, assemblage, and altered art. Creating unique images and objects. Uh-oh. Did you hear that crack? Okay. (2007). Let's see, what have we here? This is a paper collage. This is done like in a shadow box. Collage. Basic materials. Okay, so here it's talking about using a tea wash to age the papers. Where have we heard that before? Making paste papers. Embossing. Embossed paper collage elements. You can see that this has a lot of text in it. Some examples from people. Okay, so this is like a gallery type thing where they've pulled together different artist contributions. Assemblage. Jewelry. Altered art. You can see, oh, that's another hollowed out book. You can see that a lot of these are just end up being art pieces, like, you know, that will sit on a bookcase or a coffee table or whatever. A collection of altered books. This artist rolled and wrinkled each page to create an altered book. Altered pencils and nails. Decorated torso. That's another cool one. Okay. Personal pages and inspiration. 1,000 artist journal pages. Now these are going to be very tiny image. 2008. Well, I guess half pagers. So basically, I guess they must have asked for submissions from people because it shows you that, what, is everybody from the States? Oh, finally. Canada, Scotland. Okay, so basically people, I guess, were asked to share images of some of the pages out of their own journals. So again, it's, you know, this is like eye candy, Australia. Maybe when a person, oh, is this our girl? Robin Marie? Looks like it. Sometimes when a person is probably stumped, or maybe, you know, it's the end of a long day or a long week, and you just want to sort of refill your, as Julia Cameron would say, sort of prime the pump, and you can only create when you're full. So we need to keep replenishing ourselves, and she suggested through artist dates. Anyway, that's another good one. Okay. Collage Discovery Workshop. Make your own collage creations using vintage photos, found objects, and ephemera. This is Claudine Helmuth. And this is 2003. So you can see that all of these things were kind of all published around the same time. There must have been, you know, it must have been the hot thing of the day. Again, tools and supplies. You know, sorry about that chewing and gnawing and gusto that's being, with which she's tackling that book, that thingamajig, that chew thing. I just love looking at a page like that. I never tire of it. Okay, finding materials for collage. So you know, there are a whole bunch of places or things listed. Collaging paper and small objects. So creating backgrounds, glazing paint, peeling paint, textured paint, peeling paper, heat transfers onto glass, having fun with beeswax. I need to do that. I know somebody who is a honey maker. So, of course, early on, I bought a giant chunk of beeswax from her. I mean, like the size of, you know, a pound of butter type thing. So, let's hope that's actually useful when a person wants to use wax, as opposed to, say, wax pellets. Wax stamping, putting it all together, making of a man. Oh, altering tins. No, I guess she's making magnets there. Altering tins. You know, again, just a wealth of ideas. Oh, this is going to, I thought this was going to be a short video. This is a long one. Creative Collage Techniques by Nita Leland and Virginia Lee Williams. Oh, those are names that I think keep coming up as well. No, these ladies, I think, work individually and together on some pieces, and have authored several books, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, where's the date? Why can I not see it? Oh, 94. So, cut up things like soap boxes, gift wrap, mash bags, and plastic leaves to make your first collage on a piece of ordinary cardboard. A treasure hunt for collage materials. Making rubbings for collage. The origins of collage. I do have to speed up a bit here. Encasing papers in medium. Using newspapers in a landscape collage. Combining basic collage processes. Love that. So you can see that, again, a person could go page by page, project by project, and really work on some of, get some expertise under one's belt. See, I love this. Makes media collage with acrylics, natural materials, and found objects, 12.5 by 14.5 inches. Like, I think maybe the appeal to me is looking at it. It's not something like looking at say, a watercolor of a bouquet of a vase of roses or whatever. The challenge here is, for me, is to look and think, oh, look, that's a piece of macaroni, or that's a grass. Oh, that's something rusty. I think there's something something additional that you see with every viewing. So those things, of course, make it more appealing to me. Wood chips and shavings. Okay, have to speed it up here. Creative collage for crafters, techniques, projects, and inspirations. This is 2001. Collage in the past and present. Creating an environment for your work. Separate your collage materials according to color, shape, texture, or any category that makes sense to you. Collage without liquid adhesives. Fabric collages. Riding a hard drive into the new millennium. This was done in 1999. Stainless steel wire, bicycle wheel, viscose, acrylic paint, computer motherboards, and other parts, spray paint. 36 by 38 inches. Everybody seemed to be on that lampshade kick for a while there. How about a vest? Easter eggs. Okay. Collage art, a step-by-step guide and showcase. 1996. Oh, this is more... Oh, no, I guess there's some instruction as well. Fabric collage. Fabric and fiber. More maybe gallery type book where they're showing, finished pieces. And also it seems featuring different artists. Found object collage. Monotype collage with woodcut on paper. Collage transfers on cotton, copper, brass, and wood. Again, a feast for the eyes. Okay. Collage lost and found, creating unique projects with vintage ephemera. Oh, I didn't look for a date. 2006. There's, you know, those mini crock pots were great for, or those teeny tiny little electric fry pans were great for melting wax. I know that when we had our flower and gift shop, if I needed, and of course the one option is a glue gun, but if you need a lot of glue and maybe something a little more, you know, easier to work with rather than that all that trigger work, I would have a fry pan, even sometimes the big 10-inch or 12-inch pan with wax that had been melted in, not wax, glue. This is wax, that was glue, sorry. I'm losing my mind here. Okay, so again, you know, there's a certain aesthetic, a certain style here. If it appeals to you, great. If it doesn't, you know, substitute your own ideas and materials and make it your own. Oh. Oh, you know what she did here? She used a license plate. She photocopied a license plate, I guess shrank it in size probably, and used that as a basis for a slide book. Used paper slides as a frame to crop away the parts of images I didn't want to show. Honestly, this looks like way too much fun. Do you hear that? It's silence. She's abandoned that Chewy toy. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, collage for the soul. You can see I marked several pages here. Expressing hopes and dreams through art. 2003. Now, again, some of this is dimensional. So this is actually in a frame. But again, we have all those creative bones in our bodies. So we know that we can transfer any idea that we see, adapt and transfer any idea we see into something that works for whatever it is that we're doing. Paper doll dresses. Again, this is one of those, oh no, there are some steps. I was going to say where it's more look at it and try to figure out yourself how it came to be. Adeline Perella. Cool. Okay, this one has a lot in it too. Inner Hero, Creative Art Journal, Mixed Media Messages to Silence Your Inner Critic. So this would obviously be a cross between, you know, probably self-help and art. Or art is therapy or whatever. Why is there not a... Is this one of those where it's at the back? 2013. Oh, that's one of the newest ones here. Okay, so basically it's talking about our, you know, that creature that lives in us, our inner critic. So some art techniques, some free writing techniques, you know, sort of stream of consciousness kind of stuff. Creating a background. Fabric and paper collage. Sewing on paper. That's lovely. The gardener and tool identification. Patterned leaves. So again, some project type things. White or near white squares cut out of fabric and paper, stacked and hand stitched onto the page with white pearl cotton. So combine paper that we love and slow stitching that we sometimes really should be doing to just slow down. Storing and carrying your pages. And the final one, I don't know if this, I don't think I saved the best for last, it's just how it worked out. Collage source book, Exploring the Art and Techniques of Collage, 2005. Short History of Collage. Oh, so Pablo Picasso and Georges Braque began making paper collages according to the principles of Cubism, and that was in 1912. So it's been around for 100 years plus. I love pears. For a while there, I was on a pear tear. Did a huge acrylic canvas with pears and copper wire and paper, and it's probably about 4 feet wide. Yeah, cool. Paper collage. Got a sewing machine there. Again, gallery ideas. Fabric collage. You can see, I remember seeing this in another book, so some of these pieces that I guess were kind of the moment ended up in each other's books sometimes. Sorted fabrics. Doesn't that just make you want to drool too? Embellished quilt. What is this one about? Accidental music. Collective memory. We've seen this before. Scrapbook images. We've seen that before. We've seen that before. I wonder if it's the same author. Oh no, this is... Anyway. I don't know about you, but I just feel like digging in. I guess sometimes these books can both serve to inspire and or intimidate. So let's not let it be the intimidation thing. Let's remember that art is a personal journey. We begin where we are. We hopefully progress from there. Maybe not even progress, but evolve. And there are others that have gone before, and there are others that will come behind. But it is the value of doing it where the blessing is. And whatever the result is, hey, it's out of our hands. Anyway, I will stop here. I'm sure this video has gone on longer than I intended. Oh, sorry, I do it every time. One more thing. Another source of inspiration, although goodness knows I've stopped buying them because I cannot justify the price. It is the the Stampington and Company books. So these two happen to be art journaling. This is 2020, this is 2021. And of course, I keep them as inspiration and so on. But I think these books are almost $20 each now, and I just refuse to pay that for a magazine. So, sorry, but I do love them. I have some of the in her studio books, which we all love to be voyeurs and see what other people are doing and have, and how they display it and store their supplies. Okay, art journaling in her studio, Somerset Studio, Bella Grace, all those things are all related. Anyway, this is it for this week's episode of What's in My Bookcase. And I think, if I am reading my audience right, I'm thinking that you will have loved this episode just because of the sheer eye candy that has been provided. So anyway, sorry about the Gertie grunting, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.